What is going on, everybody? I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Today's video is separated into 3 parts. The first part is about a woman who knows who's being toxic, and the most toxic thing that she has done is...
What do you want to know?
What is the most toxic thing that you've ever done?
Okay, let's do this. All right, take them to court and then get a good divorce lawyer, of course.
A young gentleman who's brutally honest about the cost of divorce and what the whole process actually has done to him.
Direct costs, I lost $106,000 out of my 401k retirement plan I spent 20 years contributing to. Now broke, live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and have a negative net worth for the first time since I was, 25.
And a 40-year-old who was talking about her experience being married at the age of 23, and now that she's getting a divorce at the age of 40, how much she was living inside of a cage. She wasn't thinking right when she was married. She wasn't being treated right when she was being married. She felt like life was being sucked out of her.
Now that I'm divorced, I realize how free my life is and how free it wasn't when I was married, and how I felt like in many ways I was in a cage in my mind, a cage in just life. Like I wasn't living.
Guys, can you believe it? My microphone just broke, so that's why you see me sitting here with my headphones. Just bear with me real quick. All right, with that being said, everybody, welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. As you can see, we have a lot to talk about, but the moral of today's video is basically, I can't blame men for not wanting to get married, because the benefits most definitely are lower than the risk, or as many people say, the risks simply outweigh the benefits. Why is that though? Why is it that the system really only benefits women in almost everything? Whether if it's toxic feminism, whether if it's them screaming out that they want equal rights, whether if it's like the child support system or the divorce rules and regulations. It seems like everything on this planet is almost against the man, and the woman is just being conniving. I'm not talking about all of them, but she has her plans. She has scheming, plotting, and planning, and always seems to get away with this.
Married 4 times, divorced 4 times. Let's see, let's go. You tell me. What do you want to know?
What is the most toxic thing that you've ever done?
Okay, let's do this. All right, take them to court and then get a good divorce lawyer, of course. Take them for half of the retirement. Take them half of their property, and then fight them for higher child support, okay?
Guys, before we get into what this woman is talking about, I would like to point out how ridiculous she looks. This woman is obviously in her mid-40s, maybe even early 50s, I'm not quite sure, with her cleavage out in them streets. I experience a lot of women who are at that age and who feel as though they have to live their second childhood. Now, is this an appropriate look for a woman? No, not at her age. Cleavage all out. Obviously, she has something to drink. You can see that her tongue is red. And people who are around her whole environment is half as old as she is. What is she doing in them streets? Obviously, giving some bad advice. Now, let's talk about what she has said. All of these things that she has mentioned, trust me when I tell you, she is not only talking about it because she feels as though this is some information that she has gotten into, she has applied everything of it. And the fact that she knows that what she's doing is toxic, she could have kept that to herself. She could have mentioned something else, but no, women feel good about that. They feel like that is the ultimate payback. That is the ultimate payback. The more a man suffers, the more happier a woman is. The more a man suffers, the more payback the woman thinks she is doing, when really she's just revealing who she is. A lot of women have that Jezebel spirit in them.
And a couple of years from now, hit you up for more child support every 3 years. Every 3 years, you go up from maybe 200 to 300 to 400 to 500. You bring it up to $2,000 per child. Per child.
I don't know how much disdain a person can develop towards another person. This woman must be such a nightmare when you're a man and you're married to somebody like that. The way she screams here on top of her lungs, and her environment's not even that loud, I'm sure that she is behaving the same way when she is around her man, around her husband. Now, can you imagine having to come back to somebody like that every single day? That probably is giving you the side eye all the time. Where the hell have you been all day long? Or why haven't you've called me back when I called you? Everything to these women is about money. Everything is about money. And you know why they are so comfortable in doing that? Because they know that the system has their back. The system has their back, and the system is created to break a man's back. Literally.
Child. Per child. But I got one child right here. Kaylin right here. Her daddy paying child support for her, of course, it always is. But that's the best thing you can do. I just say it's karma.
Guys, she really speaks with so much confidence, right? I understand that a woman wants to make sure that her children are taken care of, but let's just say in this case, it is $2,000 per child. Cost of living is high. School utensils are high. Everything is high as hell. I understand that. But I would like to talk about people who are with these celebrities and who are requesting all of these crazy amounts for child support. What is that child going to do with all that money? Are you sure that all that money is for the child? Or are you trying to just keep up the lifestyle that your celebrity husband provided for you? But back to this lady though. Not only is she preaching what she's practicing, she's also doing it in front of her daughter. In front of her daughter that she's obviously in them streets with. And that just tells you so much that there is no hope for these women nowadays.
So how much did my divorce cost me? Well, this is a fantastic question. There's direct and there's indirect costs. Direct costs, I lost $106,000 out of my 401k retirement plan I spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half the equity in the home, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cash, and savings that I also spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half of all the non-liquid assets like furniture, household goods, electronics, cars. Keep in mind, I paid for all of these. And this is in addition to financially supporting her and her/our daughter for 17 years, which is many hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm now broke, live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and have a negative net worth for the first time since I was, 25. Indirect costs: my job, my sobriety, my self-worth, my masculinity, my hope for the future, my ability to trust women again, my belief in God, my pride, my motivation, my physical health. I don't know, let's just say everything.
The emotional, the mental damage. Wow, I literally feel so bad for this man, and you don't understand how important it is for people to come forward, especially men, to speak up about the experiences that they're having going through these divorce cases. All of that money that he lost. And here's the thing about it, guys, that what I don't understand about women is simply the fact that you're marrying somebody, you're with that person a few years, then you discover that you guys are just, have separate lives, y'all don't get along with each other anymore, you want a divorce, but just separate. What's the point in trying to not only take half, take everything the man has ever worked for in their whole entire life? A woman of faith, a woman with common sense would not even be she would not even be capable of doing that. If I was to separate from my husband today, I would never ever want anything from that man. You know why? What's his is his. What he has worked for, what I have worked for is for me. Why are women like, I gotta take everything that the man has ever worked for? That is something I'll never understand. Not only are these women working and doing their best to take everything that the man has ever worked for, at the same time they are weaponizing their children against their men. Oh, you're a deadbeat dad. You're not allowed to see my child. Or all of a sudden it's the woman's child, like the man has never done anything to make that child, right? And they would tell everybody, their friends, associates, co-workers, that man is a deadbeat father. And I don't know why everybody always seems to believe the women. You can't make this mess up, and I cannot blame men for really not wanting to get married anymore. If I was to be a man, I'd be like, I am not getting married. No way in hell am I getting married.
Now that I'm divorced, I realize how free my life is and how free it wasn't when I was married, and how I felt like in many ways I was in a cage in my mind, a cage in just life. Like I wasn't living. You ever feel like you're just not living? You're just existing, going through the motions, like you're on autopilot? That's what it felt like. But one thing that's key that it took me some time to realize is that my marriage, it was very surface level. And it looked good on paper, We had the house, the 2 kids, we were an attractive couple, like all of that. But for substance, that wasn't really there. And when I think about as I'm dating now, there's just certain things that are really important that wasn't important when I chose to get married at the age of 23. And one thing in particular is that there has to be connection, there has to be intimacy, there has to be kindness and a genuine friendship. And those are some of the things that's important to me now versus when I got married at 23.
So it takes her about 17 years to actually realize that she's been living in a cage all these years. And it also takes her 17 years to realize that marriage was not everything that she has imagined it was going to be. That is a problem, everybody. Everything being on surface level. The thing about it is a lot of women are getting married for the status because everybody else is getting married, because society is expecting these women to get married, but they don't even understand what it takes to be a wife that's supporting her husband and helping him build the legacy, the family legacy here. What I believe in this case, what happened is that she is looking around on social media. It's a trend. A lot of women are getting divorced because it's a trend. Because especially at the age of 40, where women are experiencing a midlife crisis, they feel as though it is time to bring out the short dresses again, be in them streets again, bring the high heels out again. And this is what they would do in being comfortable. That's being comfortable to them. If they would do this while being married, obviously the husband would be either against it or start questioning what this new behavior is about. So they will literally use marriage, them living in a cage, as an excuse to get up, get a divorce, be in them streets, and take everything that the man has ever worked for. Do you see this insane recipe coming together always in favor of a woman? You really can't make this mess up. Even if we sum up today's video based on the talking points that I made, let's look at the facial expressions of all of these people, and you tell me in the comment section who looks broken the most. We have the first woman who's absolutely toxic and she's absolutely in love with it. We have the second woman that I just showed you who looks like she found peace now that she is single. But then we have this young man who was talking about the cost of divorce. Doesn't he look broken? You tell me, doesn't he look broken? Is this a coincidence? No, it's not. That's why my advice to you guys, I'm a woman, I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. Looking around, looking at these videos, seeing what's going on, you have to be very, very careful about the woman that you want to meet. Want to marry. Do not marry her unless you have lived with her. Do not marry her unless you have experienced some downs with her. Do not marry her if you have not been in uncomfortable situations together, because uncomfortable situations are really going to tell you whether if the person that you are with is reliable and actually is able to support you, stick by your side through tough times. That's it, everybody. Make sure you let me know in the comment section what you think about today's video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, help supporting it to grow, help supporting spreading our message and building our community. Make sure you share this video with a friend or family member. Make sure you give it a like if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.